Hello, everybody. Let's talk about inconclusive polygraph results. I've gotten a lot of calls over the past couple of months, and especially over the past couple of weeks. Hey, Joe, sent my client, or I went to a polygraph firm, got an inconclusive result. What is inconclusive? Why is it, and how is it? Okay, and can you give me any answers, Joe? My answer is always, yeah, I can give you answers. Somebody at the end of the day is going to be pissed off after I make this video, but oh well. I mean, one thing I've learned is that God did not put me in this world to make a bunch of buddies, unfortunately. So let's get on with it. The first type of inconclusive is the academic inconclusive. Now, this does happen on occasion. Examiner will go ahead and collect the data. They'll score the charts, and at the end of the scoring of those charts, the total does not meet the threshold to call something deceptive or non-deceptive. It's right there inside of that little no man's land of nothing. It's right there inside that little purgatory in between deceptive and non-deceptive. The second type of inconclusive is when the polygraph examinee is not cooperating with the polygraph examination. They're shifting around in the chair, they're tapping their feet, they're tapping their fingers, they're moving their neck around, trying to crack their neck, or any number of stupid little movements that they'll make after they've been told not to. Now, how many times is an examinee told not to? Well, let's go with the start of it. Before they're even attached to the instrument, the examiner will sit there and say, see that little butt pad? It measures everything from the waist down in regard to movement, sometimes from the waist up. If your blood pressure arm is, if you're sitting there tapping your finger, we're going to catch that on that component. If you're sitting there tapping your finger or moving your fingers around with the GSR component, it's going to make all kinds of wonky tracings, and we're going to see it there. If you're snapping your neck, we're going to see it. Don't move during the polygraph examination. And then on the first chart and every chart thereafter, we start the test with, this part of the polygraph is about to begin. Please remain still. And then we end it with, this test is now at an end. Please remain still while I take this instrument out of operation. We do that 3 times. So they're told at least 4 times, don't move when the blood pressure cuff is inflated. But they do it anyway. So as far as that type of inconclusive is nobody's fault but the examinees. I have no sympathy for people that can't follow those simple instructions. And when they say, well, I can't help it. Yes, you can. Do you have epilepsy? No. Do you have Parkinson's? No. Is there something that sends you into spasmodic fits? No. Then what's going on? I don't know. I just move like that. No, you don't. When you've got that, if you're in that polygraph room, the situation that you're in that polygraph room for is big. If you're in front of a polygraph examiner, you've got a problem. Okay, the reason why you're there is big and it's important. And the money that you're spending for that polygraph examiner, if you know what, if you don't follow the instructions, you deserve what you get. Period, case closed. Next category is the examinee that takes the deep breath at every answer. I'll give you an example. Are we in the state of Texas? No. Do you intend to be truthful to each question? No. Makes me almost want to ask, are you using a voice affectation and trying to breathe deep like that just to irk me? I don't do that because I know the answer is going to be yes. Then there's the type of person that the minute you sit there and say, this test is about to begin, please remain still. It's like they're Darth frickin' Vader or something. Either that or Darth Vader's on the other side of the door doing the whole Jedi choke thing. What gives you? In the throes of an asthma attack? What the fuck? Okay? Bottom line is, that person too, unless they've got some sort of breathing problem, which they probably should have told me about before the test, there's no reason for it. And what's even funnier is the minute you sit there and say, This test is now this part of the test is now ending. Please remain still while I take this instrument out of operation. The minute that blood pressure cuff goes down, bang, they're breathing normally. And then the minute the second chart starts up, they're right back at it again. So I have no sympathy for that person either. You deserve what you get. They're intentional. It is what it is. You want to go ahead and do that? You want to go ahead and make your test come up inconclusive and you got to come back and retake the test and repay for it? That's on you. Now let's talk about the biggest reason for inconclusive that there is. Okay, my instructor called it piss poor test, and that's what I call it, piss poor test. Now there are two types of examiners with piss poor test. The first examiner simply just doesn't care. They just want to go through the movements. They just don't care anymore, or they stopped caring. They don't explain what polygraph measures and how it measures it. They don't take their time to talk to their examinee. They don't take their time to let that examinee feel comfortable inside of their room and that they're going to get a fair, independent, and unbiased polygraph examination. Then there's the second type of examiner that I really can't talk about too much because I have been forbidden to. Every time I've tried to talk about this type of examiner, I have been silenced. I have been threatened with disciplinary action. And this is the type of polygraph examiner that inconclusive is the desired result. Yes, there are examiners out there like that, and I can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. The problem is the polygraph industry here in Texas will not allow me to talk about it under threat of some sort of disciplinary action or a lawsuit. So if you think the possibility, if all of a sudden you're hearing about inconclusives coming from one certain place, whether it be this place or that place or this place or that place, but if you're hearing all these inconclusives come from a certain type of examiner or a certain type of place, that should be a red warning sign. That should be a red flag as big as a house. Don't use that examiner. Just makes sense to me. I'd love to go into more detail about that, but I can't, because if I do, I'll be punished by the Texas polygraph industry. So that's the truth about inconclusives. I hope that gives some people some answers if they're searching for it. And to the people that I send to this video, I hope that gives answers. If you need more answers, just give me a call. I'm always available. Thank you. Bye-bye.